Hey everyone, Ben here and welcome back to the channel, and today we've got an unbelievable race in the Formula 4 at Donington Park in iRacing. Stick around to the very end, you won't want to miss how this race comes to a conclusion. But for now, we're just getting started on the grid. The lights are red, we're about to get underway, and it's gone green, and we are immediately onto the rear wing of the car up ahead, and we're going to be down his outside, but we get a big squeeze onto the grass verge. That means we've got to get out of it, and we're going to be barreling into T1 then with a number of cars down our inside. Got to leave a lot of space there, but there's two cars off on the outside, so we have to swerve back across the track. Thankfully, we didn't make any contact with anybody on our inside, but that was hugely close, and already you can just sense this is going to be a chaotic race here at Donington Park. We were side by side through the old hairpin there, and again just avoided contact. At least drivers giving each other space in this early part of the race. I've got no faith in Kozlowski up ahead of us, given the big squeeze that he gave us on the very start of the race. So I'm going to be very mindful of what he's up to up ahead of us, but I know I've got pressure from behind as well, as Christian in the Mercedes liveried car was very close to our rear wing there in the middle sector of the lap. Look at how many cars are going side by side for the first time through the chicane. Give them all plenty of room. One car's not going to make the corner. He's off to the right hand side again. Give him space to rejoin, but that's compromised us on the exit. Christian might fancy a run on us, but we've got 2 or 3 cars up ahead, each looking for position as well. It's going to be very, very tight into the last couple of corners here as cars jostle for position. Nose to tail then coming down the straight, ready for the left-hander at the end of the lap. And yes, Christian's made a move down our inside. I'm not going to contest it overly. I'm going to give him the space he needs on the inside. He takes the position from me there as we finish lap 1. I'm going to just put a little bit of pressure down into T1, see if I can force a mistake. We're now down into 14th position, having started in 11th. I've got another car down my inside. We lose yet another position as I'm deliberately taking it nice and steady on this opening lap because I do not want to get damage, and it is just so treacherous here at Donington Park. We're through the Kramer curves one more time then into the old hairpin, and we're coming through, and one car up ahead, he's lost it, and he's going to slam into the side of the red car on our right hand side there and take them both out. That's exactly the sort of thing I'm trying to avoid getting tangled up in. We've got Jay Black behind us in the Red Bull liveried car, Christian up ahead in 12th position, so I think we're up into 13th at the moment, maybe slightly higher given those 2 cars have gone out. Christian gets it all wrong through the right-hander. We're going to have a run on him down the back straight. We pull to the inside, try and get alongside into the chicane. This is a very risky move as he's still on our outside. I've no idea where he is. We take both apexes. He must have had to take to the gravel because he couldn't run side by side with me, and we've managed to make up another position. But now we're going to come under pressure from behind from Jay Black, who's had a quicker run through the chicane. He dives down the inside, and I've got another car down my inside, so we are gaining positions on the one hand but then losing them again straight away as our lines are compromised through the corner. I've got a car on my outside still here. We take a very tight early line into the corner there to just make sure we don't come together. We're still side by side as we cross the start finish line. I think Durban has got a nose ahead of us on the inside, and he's going to have the high ground for the next corner. So despite going wheel to wheel with numerous drivers, we're still in 13th position after a frantic opening couple of laps here at Donington Park. But the key thing is we've got no incident points, we've got no damage. So despite the fact we haven't made too much progress in the early part of this race, as we get a better run through the old hairpin there, and we're going to be squeezing onto Durban's rear wing as we come up the hill. Are we going to be able to make a move? He's taking a defensive line into the right-hander here. That's going to compromise us getting into the corner. I'm going to try and take a wider entry and get a better exit, but we haven't been able to do it. And now I've got Will Sparks behind me, looking to put a bit of pressure on as well. There is no let-up here in the opening phases of this race at Donington Park. Maybe I'll be able to tuck into the draft of Durban up ahead and maybe put a bit of pressure on into the chicane. We are closing in here, but I'm not going to be anywhere near close enough to stick one down the inside. And actually, in switching down to third gear there, we haven't had the best run through the corner, and I think that's going to let Durban off the hook a little bit into the hairpin at the end of this lap. We just look to take a slightly tighter line to ward off any dive bomb from behind, get a tidy exit, and it looks like we've got about half a second back to Sparks as we come towards the end of this third lap then. look to just spot the apex again on the inside, not make any mistakes. Very easy to lose the cars. It looks like Sparks has behind. Big accident in the rear view mirror. That's at least going to give us a little bit of breathing space to the pack behind. Wow, what an opening to this race. Here then is the race start. You see us get a big squeeze from Kozlowski up ahead there. That's going to compromise us into T1. But actually it gives me just a little bit of breathing space to see the two cars on the outside. And we get so lucky not to tag anyone on the inside when avoiding them. 1 lap later, big shunt up ahead of us, which we were very fortunate to miss out on. And then this, 1 lap later, brilliant racing action as we're defending from black behind. Christian, unfortunately for him, makes a mistake through the double right-hander. That gives me the run on him down the back straight. We take a bold attacking move down into the chicane. He tries to hang it around the outside, but he sees he has to bail out of it. Goes across the gravel, rejoins the circuit. Unfortunately for me, in taking that aggressive stance, I got a compromised line through the chicane, and that's going to give Black the chance to get down my inside as I give him plenty of room. The Playlife car then gets a run down our inside as well, so I lose 2 positions, having just gained 1 through the chicane. And that was the story of these opening laps. Trading positions, getting an advantage on a car up ahead, but in making the move, then being offline for the next corner, which would then cost me those positions back again. But the main thing, as I say, I was just trying to guarantee through this chaotic opening set of laps was that I could stay safe, not lose any incident points and not pick up any damage. And then this is the incident on board with Christian, who we were battling with just a lap earlier, and he gets tangled up with Sparks behind us as he span through the final corner of the lap. He does rejoin, but he will be carrying damage. We rejoin the live action then 10 minutes later. We're still in 13th position. We've been able to keep in touch with the cars up ahead, but then a compromised line through the chicane there is going to give Kozlowski a run on us. So down our inside into the hairpin, it looks like we're going to be down into 14th position. That's really disappointing because we were just starting to get onto the rear wing of Korneve and Hayim up ahead. So the top 10 is not out of the question here, but we're going to have our work cut out for us as we're now down into 14th. But look at that, he's got it wrong. Kozlowski spins in the final corner as well. Drivers finding it really tricky to keep control of these cars through that final corner. Downshifting, I think, in the middle of the braking zone, and that is causing the rear end to come around. So here we are, losing the position to Kozlowski in the first instance, but then it wouldn't take very long before we were back ahead as just coming into the final corner of the lap, clearly anticipating that we might make a move back. He takes a tighter line than he might otherwise and just lights up the rear tyres. Gets it wrong, we avoid the spinning car, and we're able to take back 13th position. We rejoin again then on the very next lap, and we're now following Andrew Petty and Max Hayim just up ahead, both of whom have had small incidents on this lap, so we've actually managed to squeeze up onto the pack of cars up ahead. So as I say, 10th place, still not out of the question. We're going to look in the second half of this race to just put more pressure on the cars up ahead, as we don't have quite so much pressure coming at us from behind. We're into the last corner again then. Hayim just up ahead. We very nearly lose the car. Hayim has lost the car on the exit of the corner. He's beached on the curb, and that will be another position for me then as we head into the final stages of this race. So being neat and tidy in the opening section of the race has allowed me then to squeeze up onto the back of this next pack of cars as we head into the final few laps. 3 minutes left then on the race clock. We're in 12th position. There's a yellow flag out as we're coming towards the end of this lap, and there's a car sideways. We have to take avoiding action. We just about miss him in the middle of the track. That was a lapped driver, Ferreros, who's clearly been trying to make back progress, having had an incident on the opening lap there. If you remember, all the way back to the start, he was one of the cars on the outside in the grass. But we're coming through then into the final corner. Trying then, we've got Korneve up ahead, then Montreux, then Petty. We're in 12th position. So the best I think we can hope for here is just about squeezing into the top 10 as we start then what will probably be the penultimate lap of this race. There's another yellow flag out though, and it looks like we've got a car rejoining. That's Piero on the left hand side in the old Benetton livery. Is he going to see us as we dive down the inside, as he is just getting back up to speed, and that is us up into 11th position as he does give me the space on the inside. We're through the old hairpin then, take a nice line through there. That is a bonus position. There's another slow car as a yellow yellow flag was just getting removed there from the track. It looks like it's Marsman up ahead. We might have a run again down the right hand side here. We're going to be brave, try and hit the apex. The car nearly gets away from us. Unfortunately, we just didn't catch him in time to get that position back. I might have another chance towards the end of this lap if I can stick in his slipstream, but Piero, recovering behind us, is also going to be interested in taking this 11th place back. So we've probably got a lap and a half left of this race, and we are nose to tail with cars up ahead and behind. Got to be careful through the chicane here not to throw this away. We do give away a little bit of speed to Marsman through the corner, but I was just really interested in not stacking it under pressure. And then there's a chain of 4 cars up ahead of us who could yet come to grief and give us more positions through the final lap of this race. I'm expecting the white flag then to come out as we come down into the final corner. Yes, there it is. One more racing lap then to see if we can't make a move on Marsman up ahead, but at the very minimum not give up this 11th position to Piero behind us, who surely, having made a mistake this late in the race, is going to be frustrated and is going to want at least to salvage 11th place back. We nearly go in too wide into T1. Thankfully, we just about make the apex. It's cost us a little bit of speed as we come through the Kramer curves then for the final time. We've lost a bit of ground on Marsman up ahead. He's now 0.7 seconds up the road. I'm not sure we're going to be able to catch him unless he makes a mistake. If anything, it's myself and Piero who are making mistakes very dangerously wide through the old hairpin then as we climb the hill and just try and keep it neat and tidy through this right-hander. We do just about manage to do that, get on the gas nice and early through that corner, and now up the hill, tricky right-hander to go. We're wide through there, we nearly run it out onto the curbs. Piero behind us does run it out onto the curbs. That's going to give us a little bit of breathing space. We're half a second behind Marsman now as we come down the back straight for the final time. Get our braking right into the chicane, keep it in 4th gear, hit both apexes, but we've lost a bit of time to Piero behind. We've maybe thrown this away at the last moment. He's going to be down our inside. I'm not going to swerve across the track, but I'm going to try and hold it around his outside here. We're side by side. Can I keep a front tyre just alongside him so he has to give me space? Yes, I can. We're going to have the inside line for the very last corner of the race, side by side, racing for position. 1 corner to go. Oh, and he's lost it. He's lost it on our outside. Piero out of the race at the very last, and we hold on for a dramatic 11th place finish. Wow, what a race that was. And it just goes to show, it doesn't matter what position you're fighting for, the racing can be really intense in this Formula 4 series. Here then is how Piero dropped positions behind us into the final couple of laps of the race, just getting collected in the accident up ahead of him. And this is how Marsman ended up being in contention for us as well. A big slide out of 4th position, lost all kinds of places heading into the final lap of the race. Big shame for him. You can see myself and Piero there in the back of shot. We then are going to have just half a chance of taking another position from him as we come up the hill and into the right-hander. We do make our best attempt of getting down his inside, but we just can't make it stick. He was just about back up to speed by that point. And then the very last lap of the race, Piero piling the pressure on down our inside. I can't fight it at this stage. I have to just try and hold it around the outside. I do just enough to keep a little bit of my car alongside him, so he can't close off the inside line for the final corner. And then I think we're going to run side by side and it's going to be a drag to the line, but he just gets it wrong. He loses the back end as we've seen so many other drivers do, and then another back marker doing exactly the same there just before we cross the start finish line. This is it then from Piero's view. You can see he just loses the car because he's having to take the wide line. He manages to get going again and will at least finish the race. Here then are the final classifications. It was a 1.9k split, so we managed to gain a little bit of iRating despite coming home in just 11th place. But wow, what a chaotic combination this is. Definitely recommend you giving it a try. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a like, get subscribed, and I will see you on the next one.